Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to do class 9 history, chapter 2, the Vedic period, part 3. So, in this part 3, we will be dealing with literary sources, epics, and archaeological sources. So, the next Vedic literature, the allied Vedic literature written jointly, the Vedangas, which deals with the ways in which Vedas ought to be chanted, and it deals with pronunciation, grammar, etymology, metrics, and astronomy. Second is your sutras. They are divided into three groups. The first one is Saurata Sutras, which deals with the yajna and sacrifices. Next is Grihastha. It deals with the ceremonies connected with family life. And the Dharma Sutras, which provide rules of conduct for the various classes of people for the various stages in their life. Next is your Upavedas. The name itself is a subsidiary. So there are four in number. Ayurveda, which deals with the Indian system of medicine. The Dhanur Veda describes the art of warfare. Gandharva Veda describes the art of music, and Shilpa Veda deals with the art and architecture. One is your Darshana. There are six schools of Indian philosophy known as Shad Darshanas: Nyaya Darshana, Vaishika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimasa, Uttar Mimasa. They all propagate the virtues of life and are opposed to external rituals. Next is your Dharma Shastra, the law books called the Dharma Sutras, and the Smritis together with their commentaries, and they together form Dharma Shastra, which also describes Manusmriti, which gives the description of Hindu code of law, including the Varnas and the Ashramas. Next is your Ashtadhyayi. It is a treatise on Sanskrit grammar by Panani. So the next is your epics. It is a long poem narrating the deeds and adventures of heroic or legendary figures of past history of a nation. Most popular and famous epics of India are Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana is a work written by Maharishi Valmiki, and Mahabharata is written in Sanskrit by Vyasa. When we learn and when we know about the heroic deeds done by Rama and Krishna in these two epics, it tells us many things why the epics are important. Epic serves as the main source of information on the political institution, cultural organization, social life. It also provides the information on various Aryan kingdoms, the life of Kshatriyas, their weapons, their kingdoms, their defense strategy. Epics are also considered as the finest literary work of the ancient period, and it's of great philosophical value. It reveals the high ideals of family life of Aryans. It depicts a high quality of moral principle which had a great impact on the coming generation. Bhagavad Gita elaborates the karma philosophy and the immortality of soul. Next source that we are doing over here is archaeological source. Archaeological source means material evidences. So these evidences help us to know about the Vedic period. The available archaeological sources of the period include iron implements and tools and remains of pottery. Next is our next archaeological source is pottery. First one is here iron artifacts. Artifacts means object made by human being. The discovery of iron marks an important stage in the march of civilization in the world. In India, the Iron Age began in 1000 BC. The village farming communities gradually dispersed in large parts of India from the Gangetic plains to the peninsula south. So slowly, people started applying iron, use of iron to do agriculture, to sustain their livelihood. Next comes when they started moving towards the advancement, they started making pottery, the graveware, and the painted graveware, which you can find in the sites, different sites of Punjab and Haryana. So over here we can see how people were gaining knowledge about different art and artifact. so we can get a nice idea, we can develop a good idea from these sources. Thank you.